Morning everybody, Nick here with Starfall Sabers, and underneath this box, this is not the official box, but I just wanted to cover up the Saber, is the last of the limited edition Sabers that I'll be doing. So this completes the Starfall trilogy of Sabers. Underneath here is Ascension. And with this Saber, I'll kind of explain what I wanted with this one. I kind of hinted at it in one of my updates, but so obviously I'm an original trilogy guy. That's what I was grew up watching. That was my introduction to Star Wars, and so those original trilogy style of sabers I fell in love with, and so I wanted to do my own kind of take on them, almost like an alternate version or an alternate variant reality of the original trilogy. And so with Legacy, that was kind of a Luke Skywalker style saber with my spin on it. With Alliance, that was kind of more of the Obi-Wan, the mentor, my version of his saber. And then strangely enough, Darth Vader's saber in the original trilogy, I never really was a fan of. It was my least favorite, but he's, you know, the ultimate bad guy. And when I was young, me and my nephews, we would always play Star Wars, and I was, Darth Vader and he was Luke, and we would battle it out for hours, and it was super fun. So I wanted to make a Vader-inspired saber to complete this trilogy that, in my mind, was something that I would have loved to see it. So that's kind of in my head canon. In this version of the original trilogy, this saber represents if Vader was actually able to sway Luke to the dark side, and together they defeated the Emperor, and Vader ascended to the galactic throne and claimed his spot as Emperor. So that's why the saber is called Ascension, because he's ascending to the galactic throne. So first I'm going to show you my sketch. This was my sketch that I sent my business partner Gustavo Canales, and we worked together to bring this to life, which is my version of Vader's saber, Ascension. So I wanted something reminiscent of Vader's profile, his saber profile, but I wanted something just a little more sinister and sleek looking. This also has a lot of stylings that we tried to thematically keep kind of similar with Legacy and Alliance, so which I'll show you in a minute because I've got those sabers sitting here. But this type of detail here is also seen in Alliance. In the switch box section, we've got knurling, which is in both Legacy and Alliance. Also, this gearing section is also in both Legacy and Alliance. And these kind of scallops on the pommel. So I'll show you the comparison, or where we got the inspiration for these type of stylings, just to make sure thematically when you see them all together, it looks like a complete set. Same thing with the shape of this PLI cover. So when this is installed, you're going to have some animated LED strip underneath this acrylic inset. So that's going to look really cool. And then we have the copper finish on this, and it's also reminiscent of the same shape for the control box of Legacy, which I'll show you the comparison. And then you have the switch box, which is nice. This one's nice. If you don't get it installed, it looks complete. The other one has, holes for the tactile undermount, but this one has this nice switch box. This was really important to me that we have these side mounts on here. I just loved the look of that. I thought that was really, really cool. But you can kind of see I think we did a pretty good job of matching the sketch to the final product. This also has a blade plug reminiscent of the vintage part. Now this is the prototype, so there's a little bit of scuffs on this one, but overall this is, I gave the shop approval just with a couple different tweaks for some finish changes. I had to sand this box down from the prototype, but this is going to be nice and shiny and smooth. And same thing with these sides too, they're going to polish these up. But I'll show you the blade plug. This is a 7/8 inch blade. So the saber will come apart here at the grip. Now, Gustavo has created a chassis for this. So I'm not partnering with any installers for this one. Basically, I'm hoping that this will kind of speed up the process of people having their sabers installed. Gustavo has two different chassis that he's created for this. The one that I posted on my socials are the Eco chassis, but they're both crystal chambers. So there's going to be an Eco chassis and then an advanced chassis that has brass. That Gustavo's not quite finished with that one yet, but both of them will be available either to order as prints for you to print yourself, or he can print them for you and ship them to you. So I'll post all those links below. But you can see how the buttons here will work with his chassis, which also will have a PLI LED strip here. Pommel also comes off. You can adjust the D-ring with this screw here, so you can position it how you want and then tighten it down. We also went back and forth on how we wanted these grips attached. I didn't want to use any glue. I also didn't want to have screws marring up this finish. These are aluminum anodized grips, and it's pretty cool. Gustavo came up with a very elegant solution for this. There are tiny screws that hold all of these in place all the way around. So if you really wanted to go crazy with your powder coaters, you can remove all these. It does take some time to do that, and then you can get access to the entire grip cylinder without the grips on. Put this back on. And then I'm going to show you, I'm not going to take the whole saber apart, but I do want to show you one feature. So the standard configuration is for the box to be clocked on the bottom, which is, you know, the classic Vader profile. But you can actually clock this emitter any way you want. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. I'm also offering a clean version. This is the clean version. Nice, bright, shiny finish. And then, you know, and all the anodizing just nice and black, not weathered. And then I have a weathered version that I'm going to offer. I'll go over the pre-order for today in a minute. I just want to show you this. This shroud comes off, and then there's 3 set screws here that lock into a channel, and so the whole emitter can be clocked. I'm going to show you a couple different ways you can do it. Gustavo and I were messing around with it, and it looks really cool on the side. So for instance, if you do it like this, so you can clock the emitter where it's on the side, which is really cool, or you can go up with it like so. So I'm going to set this one aside and show you the weathered version. So this is the weathered version. And at first you may think, well, it doesn't look that weathered, but it's subtle. You can see how bright and shiny it is versus that satin kind of gunmetal patina that I've been doing on these. This one, I thought it looked really cool with just some light, like light to medium weathering. So that's what I'll be offering. You can see it kind of makes this geared section pop. The knurling it looks really good on. Also just, you know, taking some of that anodizing away artfully on the shroud. It kind of just does something to your brain to make it look a little more lived in and real, in my opinion anyway. It also brings out the darker spots in the gearing here. The struts on the side of the box look really cool. The box is weathered up. And so the Saber has black anodizing on all the knurled parts, the grip, the box, and the shroud. But then we went with kind of like this grayish color for the box and the pommel, and it looks really cool weathered up. I really like the way that looks, and it really brings out the scalloping and gearing on the pommel here. So really happy with the way Ascension turned out. It looks so sinister and cool from every angle. There's just something interesting to look at. And it feels really nice in hand. We worked hard to keep the just the diameter and everything just aesthetically pleasing and really comfortable to hold. So I wanted to show you them. These are all the weathered versions, all together. And so looks like a pretty nice trilogy set. I couldn't be happier with how these turned out, and working with my partners to bring these to life has just been awesome. So yeah, you can see some of the design cues. So this lateral groove gearing we mimicked here. Of course, the knurling throughout. Then you got the gearing here, represented also here, and from this as well. Oh yeah, the shape of the control box on Legacy is reminiscent of the PLI box here. And oh yeah, and then we did this scalloping here, which in Ascension is represented here, or sorry, in Alliance it's represented here on the emitter, and in Ascension it's represented here on the pommel. So just some subtle design cues just to make sure thematically this really goes together as a set. So for those of you who have, you know, purchased both and are looking for a third, whether you get them clean or weathered, they're gonna really look like a matching set. Okay, so let's talk how to order. Similar to Alliance, I'm gonna have a link, a JotForm link, where you can put your name, email, and your address, and then you select either a clean or weathered version of Ascension. And then when you click submit, it will take you to PayPal and you can pre-order. So the pre-order price will be live for 24 hours, starting today at 1 p.m. And going through Friday, the 22nd, at 1. And then after that, that pre-order is going to close, and then they will be available on Etsy for so the pre-order price is $525, or sorry, $540 for this one. This was a little more expensive than the others because there's just more parts. and assembly with these grips and all those little screws. It ended up costing a little bit more to make this one. So it's $540 for the clean version and $640 for the weathered version. So that's the pre-order price. That saves you fees. It saves you taxes in certain parts depending on where you are. The Etsy price it'll probably be, I think, $575 for the clean version, and then you can purchase the weathering through my Etsy app. So what's another cool thing is, unlike Legacy and Alliance, which is 1 through 50, because this is the last one and this is the Dark Lord of the Sith, we're doing plaques 1 through 66. And so I know that number 1 and number 66 are both going to be popular, as far as like more valuable maybe for the plaque. Obviously 66 will be most valuable. So anyone who orders this, the pre-order, so that 24-hour period from today through tomorrow, from 1 p.m. to 1 p.m., will get put into like a random generator, and then I will first select the plaque number 66, and then after that one I'll take that name out and put the rest of the names in and select plaque number 1. I just figured that's the most fair way to do it, and it gives a little incentive for people who pre-order. So not only are you saving some money if you pre-order through PayPal, but you're also getting that chance to get those more prized plaque numbers. So, and then it will switch to Etsy, and for both the pre-order and Etsy, then it'll just go in order of purchase time, and all of that's time stamped, both through the Jotform link and through the Etsy. Let me know if any of that is confusing. Really, all you need to know is if you want to pre-order and get entered in for the those more valuable plaques, then do so today, and you have 24 hours to do that through the links that I'll provide. Otherwise, on Friday at 1 p.m., it'll switch to Etsy. I know sometimes people prefer Etsy because it has some financing options through there. So again, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for allowing me to do this art form and make a living doing so. I have the best fans and supporters in this saber industry as far as I'm concerned. So I really appreciate and value you guys. Let me know if you have any questions. May the force be with you, and we'll talk to you soon.